I think both me and Ciryl we both have niche style for heavyweights. We don't fight like heavyweights, both of us, so this could be the fastest, the best moving heavyweight fight that anybody's ever seen. We're both great movers, we're both light on our feet, we're both elusive, so this is going to be great. We can just be expecting me, an improved version of me. I've had a year to train, I've had a year to test my skills and improve, and I'm going to show everyone what that's all about on the 25th of October.
But just you wait, Jon Jones is probably going to pop up on Twitter. If he doesn't beat Ciryl Gane as fast as what Jon did, guaranteed we're going to get some tweets.
Tom Aspinall is finally out of the loop for chasing Jon Jones, but a more ferocious fighter, #1 ranked heavyweight Ciryl Gane, is waiting to test Tom's skills in the next heavyweight title fight.
Yes, we are back. Finally, we're back after over a year hiatus. Everybody knows, I don't have to explain what's gone on, but this is no fault of my own that I've been off for a year. Me and Ciryl finally signed on the dotted line. We have actually, from my maths, this is the 4th time we've been matched up together. Me and Ciryl got in the UFC around about the same time. I think he was there a little bit before me. He had a couple more fights than me. First of all, we got matched up, and I believe he turned down the fight early on before we were both in the rankings.
Tom Aspinall has hinted that this fight is going to be absolute chaos and explosive. He's promised fans a war inside the octagon, and if his words are anything to go by, we're in for something wild. It's going to go crazy, he teased. And coming from a fighter like Tom, that's not just hype, that's a warning.
Well, I think it's going to be one of the most exciting heavyweight fights ever. I think we're very, very evenly matched. I think his weaknesses work to my strengths, and it's just going to be a crazy heavyweight bit of action for everybody to see.
Earlier on, Tom Aspinall confirmed that Ciryl Gane previously declined to fight him on multiple occasions. Aspinall said their matchup has been arranged 4 times now. He claims Gane turned him down.
I went to Paris. He fought Spivak. I said in a post-fight interview after I beat Tibora, I'm going to go to Paris, I'm going to sit there front row, and I'm going to watch, and I'm going to fight the winner of Ciryl Gane and Spivak. I went to Paris. Ciryl, unfortunately, turned down the fight on a second occasion. Third occasion, around about this time last year, when I fought in Manchester. I fought Curtis Blaydes. The original opponent was Ciryl Gane. Unfortunately, Ciryl Gane was busy that day. Ciryl was filming his Netflix series.
Ciryl Gane is maybe next opponent for you?
Well, he can fight Almeida first, because he refused the fight with me, so now, before he jumps back in and waits for his shot, he can fight Almeida, them guys can fight, and the winner can fight me.
After rejecting multiple fights, Ciryl Gane's destiny is officially confirmed to fight Tom Aspinall by UFC CEO Dana White, and it will be going to the most brutal fight.
UFC 321, October 25th, Etihad Arena in Abu Dhabi. Tom Aspinall will face Ciryl Gane. Aspinall has 15 wins, and all of them are by finish. Gane is the #1 ranked heavyweight. You can go to, tickets go on sale this Friday, EtihadArena.ae or Ticketmaster.ae. That's all I got. That's all the I got for you guys.
Ciryl Gane was hopeful about Tom Aspinall's fight and predicted that it would be the most interesting fight in the UFC and for his career.
Ciryl, do you feel like because everyone in your division seems to be just talking about Jon and Tom, that you were being unfairly forgotten as one of the best in the world at your weight?
Yeah, that's okay. I'm okay with this situation. You see, like, for the moment, I'm just focused on Volkov. And after, yeah, we're going to talk maybe if I win this Saturday, me, Tom, what's going to happen. But for the moment, I got no ego. I don't.
Yeah. I understand you don't want to talk about it. Do you believe that maybe outside of Jon Jones, you versus Tom is probably the biggest fight in this division?
Yeah, probably, yeah. Yeah, probably.
Ciryl Gane has a solid athletic physique and is widely regarded as one of the best trained kickboxers in the heavyweight division in the sport today, combining technical striking with top-level conditioning. Because of his conditioning and movement, he can maintain that speed in a fight, which is something you don't see very often from heavyweights, and it will give him a big advantage in moving in and out on his opponents. All these tools, along with his high-level kickboxing capabilities, create a uniquely dangerous threat with Ciryl Gane. Tom Aspinall has said he wants to prove he's the best heavyweight in the world. He got the belt without beating John Jones, so Aspinall feels he has something to prove. He wants to ensure there's no doubt on who is the true top heavyweight, and to do that, he'll have to eventually face every other top contender in the division.
Ciryl was doing that, so he couldn't make that date either, and now we are matched up for the 25th of October, Abu Dhabi. Me and Ciryl, the 4th attempt is here, and this is Cyryl's 3rd title shot, so we are going to try and get rid of Ciryl Gane from the title picture for good.
How's the confidence levels?
Confidence levels great. Confidence levels great. I believe that, well, I am the best heavyweight in the world, but I want to show everyone that I'm the best heavyweight in the world. Ciryl Gane's lost 2 title shots, and I want to give him his 3rd title shot loss.
Tom said there was a significant gap between his last fight and the upcoming one, so he has been training hard and constantly improving. He's used the time wisely to sharpen his skills, build strength, and make sure he's better prepared than ever for what's next.
How's the thoughts of potential ring rust as well? Is that in your head at all?
I've had big breaks before. This is it. I've had 3.5 years off of MMA fighting before, so this is no problem for me. Ring rust is all mental anyway, so I'm happy just to get back in there, get stuff moving, and get active again.
And what can we expect for Tom Aspinall? October 25th, English fans there in Abu Dhabi.
Yes, this is great because we're on English time. We're going to be fighting on European time as well, so plenty of guys can fly over. It's going to be busy over there in Abu Dhabi, full of English fans, full of Tom Aspinall fans, which is great. We can just be expecting me, an improved version of me. I've had a year.
He's entering the ring hungry, driven, and better than ever. And with both fighters bringing elite level skill, power, and pride into the octagon, this is not just a fight. It will be one of the most competitive, high-stakes, epic battles the heavyweight division has seen in years.
What are your thoughts on Ciryl Gane being potentially the toughest opponent yet for you? A lot of people say somebody you've not really sort of faced that type of fighter in the heavyweight division.
I think both me and Ciryl are we both have niche style for heavyweights. We don't fight like heavyweights, both of us, so this could be the fastest, the best moving heavyweight fight that anybody's ever seen. We're both great movers, we're both light on our feet, we're both elusive, so this is going to be great.
Many fighters are avoiding Tom Aspinall, and it's no mystery why. His skill set, speed, and power make him a nightmare for even the toughest heavyweights. With the ability to beat the best in the world, Tom has become the type of fighter that most others wouldn't want anything to do with inside the cage.
I then get on the phone to the UFC and say, listen, I want to fight Ciryl Gane next. They ask Ciryl Gane, he turns the fight down again.
Any idea what is next for you? I saw Tom Aspinall was there. It seemed like he was interested. What do you think happens next?
I know a lot of people talk about Aspinall, but this doesn't make sense for me.
Ciryl has had, this will be his 3rd title shot in 5 fights. So he basically wins a fight, gets a title shot, wins a fight, gets a title shot. And it's not just me he's ducked in. Blaydes has ducked him on multiple occasions as well. And Blaydes actually brought that up in some interviews as well.
I feel like you guys are all trying to edge me towards Gane. That's not happening. I asked for him already in the past. He missed that bus.
Like Tom called for Ciryl too after I can't remember at one point, but then Cyryl's like, no, I want the title shot. Yeah.
You reap what you sow.
Right.
I'm gonna leave it at that.
doesn't want to fight him either. I know that.
Michael Bisping made it crystal clear with Jon Jones stepping away, possibly for good, that there's no more interim talk. Tom Aspinall is the rightful heavyweight champion without a shadow of a doubt and with no bounds of hesitation. There's just the belt and the throne. Aspinall is no longer talking about chasing greats. He isn't chasing greatness, he's wearing it in every way possible.
Tom Aspinall, the undisputed heavyweight champion of the world.
Jon Jones is officially retired. Tom Aspinall is the heavyweight champion of the UFC.
Not the interim anymore because, of course, Jon Jones retired, walked away from the sport, and then 2 weeks later came back and said he wants to fight in the UFC at the White House against the champion, but wouldn't mention Tom Aspinall's name, which is absolutely crazy because guess what? Tom Aspinall will be the champion because most of the people in the top 10 Tom Aspinall has beaten, apart from one guy, that is Ciryl Gane, and that is who he will be fighting at UFC 321. All goes down Abu Dhabi Heavyweight Championship.
Bisping said that Ciryl Gane is very similar to Aspinall from a physical perspective. They are both too muscular, fast, and skillful. Unlike the typical slow and powerful heavyweight, if Tom Aspinall stays sharp and targets Ciryl Gane's weak points, this fight could be much easier for him than people expect.
Now, when you look at the UFC heavyweight rankings, as I say, Tom has beat most of them, and he's beat them in style, and he's knocked them all out. Curtis Blaydes, Sergey Pavlovich, Alexander Volkov, whoever they are, he's beaten them all up. But Ciryl Gane is a little bit different. Now, of course, Jon Jones beat Ciryl Gane in quick fashion, took him down in the first round, submitted him with a front choke. But Ciryl Gane is the same as Tom Aspinall in terms of athletic ability. When I say that Tom Aspinall is a heavyweight George St. Pierre, that kind of goes to Ciryl Gane as well. The man's gigantic, he's very quick, he's agile, he's light on his feet, he could run any sport on the planet. And he's almost like George St. Pierre and Tom Aspinall in the fact that he's got all those athletic attributes and qualities, but he doesn't have the grappling.
Jon Jones will chase Tom Aspinall even though Tom hasn't faced and finished Ciryl Gane the way Jones did. After Tom's fight announcement, Jon wasted no time trying to stir the pot. He announced his trolling on Twitter, excluding jabs and mysterious posts that were obviously directed toward Aspinall but not spelled out explicitly. What you have here is the notion of classic Jon Jones.
You never know, he could clip him. This is a dangerous fight, this is heavyweight MMA, but Tom Aspinall can grapple. We've seen him take people down. He's done jiu-jitsu since he was about 15 years old. His dad is going to be on his case, and that's an absolute fact, saying, hey, you're not messing with this guy. Take him down, show him what you can do, show the world your grappling capability. Remember, Ciryl Gane turned Francis Ngannou into a wrestler, okay? So he's a very, very credible threat on the feet. But of course, I do fancy Tom Aspinall to get the job done. The fact that he isn't fighting Jon Jones is insane, but we've talked about that till the cows come home, so I'm not going to bore you on that subject anymore. But just you wait, Jon Jones is probably going to pop up on Twitter if he doesn't beat Ciryl Gane.
Meanwhile, UFC analyst Ciryl Gane recently called the upcoming fight between Tom Aspinall and Ciryl Gane a massive transitional fight for the UFC heavyweight division. He stated that fans need to realize that the moment they are in, this is not just another fight. It is a fight that could change the direction of the top of the division.
Aspinall versus Gane is a massive transitional fight for the heavyweight division. Now, you got to understand where we're at. And I'm a checkers player. When it comes to matchmaking, that is a unique skill and vision. But I will always go with low-hanging fruit. It's just the way my mind works. I take the biggest fight for right now. But sometimes you're playing chess. And I admire the guys that can do that. I admire the guys that can stand back, look at the board, not think about what's right now, think about what could be.
Ciryl admitted that when it comes to matchmaking, he often thinks like a checkers player, going for the low-hanging fruit and focusing on the biggest fight available at the time. But he also said that there are others who take a chess approach, where they think beyond the immediate match and consider the long-term implications of all fights from a matchup perspective.
When you do Ciryl versus Tom, you create an atmosphere where Alex doesn't just have to face Tom, he could also face Ciryl, which is a very interesting fight. I mean, now that I brought that to your attention, you guys want to know an interesting fight? You want to know what would have been a killer poster had it dropped? Ciryl versus Stipe. That would have been a very interesting match where everybody's standing there and go, wow, I don't know who I'm picking in that one. So I'm bringing all of this to your attention Because right now, there's one thing for Jon Jones to do, and that is Tom Aspinall. And there's not a massive road back. Like the idea that Jon is going to return and they're going to put him in there with Derek Lewis, just for example. It's not the same thing. But that doesn't have to be true. And I'll just give you a scenario. Regardless of what happens between Ciryl and Tom, if Alex were to move up and beat them, you've now created an opportunity for Alex versus Jon, and that does work. Jon versus Tom is the fight, but Alex versus Jon is the next fight.
The heavyweight picture is heating up, and right now, all roads seem to lead to Tom Aspinall. Though some hoped for a super fight between Alex Pereira and Tom, it's clear that once Alex takes a loss at light heavyweight, his move to heavyweight will make even more sense. When Tom ends up facing Ciryl Gane, it will not only add intrigue to that fight, but there is a chain reaction now where Alex can face either man and lean towards Gane, which makes for a fun stylistic battle.
It's just a massive question of, does the UFC want to turn the page from the Jon Jones chapter? And if they put Ciryl in there, the answer is no. It's very good news for Jon. Very good news. If they're going to put a common opponent, which is Ciryl, if they're going to give an opportunity for Ciryl to win, which, by the way, is the most uncompetitive heavyweight title fight in the history of the sport. I'm talking about Jon versus Ciryl. If you create an environment where everybody's going to look at that and go, Jon Jones is still the man, then you're not turning the page from Jon. And if you're in Jon's shoes right now, that's a very, very good piece of news. But it's not necessarily about what's next. It's not necessarily Ciryl versus Tom.
Chael Sonnen feels that a matchup between Tom Aspinall and Ciryl Gane is one of the most exciting fights that the UFC could currently make in the heavyweight division. He mentioned both fighters have unique styles, with Tom bringing speed, explosiveness, and grappling skills versus Gane's elite footwork, technical striking, and movement.
And it's a hard matchup, by the way. Ciryl is a very decorated kickboxer. Off the top of my head, I believe he was 27-3 in professional kickboxing. 27-3. I get he and Adesanya's record confused one time. One of them was 29-2 and the other one was 27-3. And I'm sharing for you when you're Tom Aspinall and you beat 6 men all the same way, which is stand up and by knockout.
Chael also mentioned that putting Gane in there with Aspinall not only makes sense competitively, but it also keeps Jon Jones relevant in the conversation. Jon Jones already wiped out Ciryl Gane, so a matchup with Gane and Aspinall could act as a measuring stick. If Tom finishes Gane in an impressive manner, the hype around Tom versus Jon Jones skyrockets. If Ciryl wins, it puts his name back in title discussions and also keeps the division unpredictable.
It's a matchup wise, it's an interesting match. But what does that match set up? It doesn't set up the return of Jon. Not if Ciryl wins. But there is a door that opens for Alex's immersion into the weight class. And one thing that heavyweight is lacking so glaringly obviously is parity. They've just all fought one another. They've all crossed paths at some point, so now you're talking about rematches. Well, how do you put Tom in a spot when he's got to do a rematch when he hasn't even defended the belt yet? How do you put Tom in a spot where he's got to do a rematch when he hasn't even had the belt yet? Right? You get it in paperwork, and I mean, do they even send you another belt, or they just tell you, hey, that belt that you have, that intro belt, that's now the undisputed belt?
Chael Sonnen states, the Aspinall versus. Going fight isn't just about who wins it, it's about what that victory does to the heavyweight division. Gane is a tough kickboxer, but Tom's knockout power is dangerous. There are very fresh matchups in the division because every fighter has faced everyone in the division, and Sonnen talks about the confusion regarding Tom's title, as he has yet to defend it. Finally, Sonnen loves the fight and loves what the fight could mean for the big future of the heavyweight division as a result of the outcome.
There is some actual questions here. You want to be a really smart guy and you want to impress Chael? Tell me why Tom is no longer interim champion. Put that into words for me. I'm serious. Explain to me why Tom was stripped of a title. It's not as easy of a riddle as you might think. And when I look at Tom versus Ciryl, I like the match. But I love the potential fallout from the outcome of the match much more.
Alexander Volkov will have his eyes peeled for the expected next UFC heavyweight title fight. All signs are pointing to Tom Aspinall's first title defense since getting promoted to UFC heavyweight champion to be against Ciryl Gane, having fought both fighters top contender. Volkov gave his take on the matchup. The fight is 50-50, I think. Both of them are good, and Ciryl Gane, he's really good with his movement, with his legs and everything. He started working a lot on his grappling and his ground skills, so I think it's 50-50. It depends how the fight starts, how both of them will be prepared for this fight. I saw that Gane will be motivated a lot for this fight to get the belt. It's 50-50, but on paper, when I fought both of them, Tom Aspinall looks better. But in the fight, it could go any way. Volkov faced Aspinall in the UFC Fight Night 204 headliner in March 2022, losing by first-round submission. He then went on a 4-fight winning streak until dropping a controversial split decision to Gane in his most recent outing at UFC 310 this past December. The countdown is on for the epic clash between Tom Aspinall and Ciryl Gane, two of the most dynamic and skilled heavyweights in the UFC today. This fight isn't just about who holds the belt, it's about shaping the future of the division. Will Aspinall's relentless knockout power and wrestling be too much for Gane's slick footwork and technical striking? Or will Gane's speed and agility allow him to outmaneuver and outpoint the champion? What do you anticipate will transpire in the octagon? We will see a dominant finish or a chess match. Could this fight set the stage for a bout with Jon Jones? Or could a new contender be anointed? Let us know your predictions or thoughts in the comments below, as I genuinely want to know. If you like this breakdown and want access to more exclusive fight coverage and insights, as well as expert analysis and every quintessential UFC moment, remember to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you never miss out. Stay tuned for more fight content headed your way. Thanks for watching.